who's going to be talking about the Technical Assistance Fund, Mr. David Morobe. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. I think amongst the speakers here, I'm the timer, ne? I still don't know how to reconcile with being a timer, because I still consider myself a young person. But I want to maybe start off by thanking the people that are here today. I had a chat with Bulelani, whom I met, I think it was 3 years ago, 2019, just before the COVID. And I was facilitating a session where entrepreneurs were giving an account of what it is that they do and how they got to be where they were. And he was one of the guys, he struck me as a very impressive fellow township guy. He told me what he's doing in mostly the East End. And through Sukuma, I thought, if there's somebody to touch, it's this man. He tried to scare me that, you know, Minangbuye Lokshini. Then I said, now I'm from Alex. And then he started calling me Brade, you know. But thank you for this. I think it's a good initiative, because for any country to move ahead, for true development to happen in any country, you need entrepreneurs. And such initiatives are so required, because no true development can take place without the people of that very country participating in its economy. And it's not going to happen in and of itself. It needs people who can stand up and do something about it. And I think through this initiative, we're trying to reach out to the few that want to do something and not just sit back. The one thing that we aspired towards when we were growing up was to play for the national team soccer. Because we were all playing soccer, that's all we had exposure to. How many of us actually make it to the national team? I mean, the national team usually has about 22 players, 22, the main squad and the reserves. Even those, just to make it to the reserve is very few. And I want to applaud you guys for being here as entrepreneurs, because it shows that it's only the few that actually make that cut to go to the next level and pursue their dreams with the love that was spoken about, with the attention that is required to be able to convince potential funders of whatever opportunity they are pursuing. And then, I said I'm starting by thanking, I thank Tubulelani, but the people that I have here, just for them to allocate their time to be here, for me, it's an achievement. You know, he had nice graphics about financial compliance. He's a chartered accountant. He's busy. He's forever all over the world, all over the country. And he's got a passion for entrepreneurs. I'm sure it came through. For him to afford us his time, I need to start off by saying, thank you, Yusuf. I don't want to wait until the difficult question comes. I must thank him before. And the stories that Arnold is referring to here are no flukes. He's a busy man, I can tell you that. The fund that Gauteng runs, I think Gauteng is the hub of our economy in this country. I think about 32, 33, if not 35% of the GDP of the South African economy emanates from here. And he is the regional investment manager for that. So you can imagine the number of applications that he has to pursue through. And for me to extend this request to him and for him to be here, I want to start by thanking you, Arnold. Thank you very much. Just one last anecdotal story. I was sitting in a gala banquet situation, and I'm sitting with these people around the table, and you know, people like to share business cards. So this one had a very interesting array of abbreviations that talk to what it is that is qualified to do, but it had very interesting abbreviation. The first one was PSF, and the second one was ASS, and then the third one was NSE. So one of the guys around the table plucked up the courage to ask him, you know, these abbreviations are very interesting. What exactly do they refer to? And he says, PSF stands for past 10 at 5. Oh yeah, that's very interesting. And then they ask, what about ASS? He says, Anston at 6. And then the last one was NSE. What's NSE for? He says, now I'm self-employed. Well, the guy pursued it. I'm not saying you shouldn't study. You must get the knowledge that you require and be an entrepreneur and employ others. What I'm going to touch on the Sukuma technical assistance, I spoke to the trustees of the Sukuma Fund about reaching out to entrepreneurs, to potential entrepreneurs, mainly those that want to take a leap forward, because you can showcase that you're entrepreneurs first by being here and also by whatever it is that you do. It was very interesting to listen to the pitch session here, that people are not just sitting back waiting for things to happen. They're making things happen. And that's, in a sense, the definition of an entrepreneur, to mobilize the resources around you to get things done. So we requested this opportunity to reach out to entrepreneurs throughout the country, and this is one of I think it's the second one. I did one in another province, and now this one with Bulelani. I thought for this presentation, I will give you just a bit of the history or the genesis of Sukuma, where it comes from, what was its purpose, what we stand for as Sukuma, and then thereafter just why the technical assistance and what is it that we will consider for technical assistance, because it's not the funding side of a business, but it's a technical assistance side, which we are trying to expand to reach out to more entrepreneurs than we have in our fold. Under normal circumstances, what we do with our technical assistance is to provide technical assistance to the entrepreneurs that we have funded. When Arnold does due diligence on any business, there are invariably certain weaknesses that they identify. Maybe your strategy, your approach to market is not okay, or you're bringing in equipment from abroad and it needs to be commissioned, you need to be assisted there. That's how we provide that technical assistance. But we thought there are many entrepreneurs there, some of whom might like to benefit on that. So I'm going to give you just a little bit on the genesis of Sukuma, the principle, and why the technical assistance. We all know about the COVID-19 pandemic. I mentioned that I'd met Bulelani in 2019, but none of us expected what would happen in 2020 when the hard lockdowns happens. It was an uncertain time for many small and medium enterprises, and over and above that, there have been certain challenges that we've been facing as a country. We're still facing them at the moment. I think the economy has not recovered sufficiently. Many people have lost their jobs. If you're going to sell your product, you need people that can afford to buy that product. What happens if we're all just fighting to survive and you need to sell to somebody? So it's a challenge for our economy, low disposable income. We have had some riots happening last year in July, and I empathize with the guys in KZN who've been experiencing floods. But those have certain serious implications on our economy. The cumulative effect of such things is very impactful on what happens to our small businesses. And I thought it's important to just share how Sukuma came about. Around the time that Sukuma happened, the president announced that there's a lockdown, and there were a number of people over and above what government was pledging that gave funds to assist small businesses, and that's how Sukuma came about. In this instance, it was the Rupert family who gave 1 billion rands, donated 1 billion rands to business partners to provide assistance to small businesses during that difficult time for the many challenges that our small businesses were facing. We were asked as business partners. Arnold is my colleague, so I can attest that what he's telling you is true. We were asked to administer that fund of Sukuma, which is what facilitated this session together with Bulelani, for no fee. So we were doing it just to help entrepreneurs, and there was a clear instruction: don't help your clients, just help entrepreneurs out and about, those that were facing the challenges around the lockdowns that we're experiencing because of the COVID-19. this is not so much in the presentation, but I think we had an online application platform that we introduced. I think it was the 3rd of April 2020. Within 3 days, we were oversubscribed in terms of the number of applications that we received for relief for that thing. I think we had about 40,000 applications in 3 days. And the risk was that that site was going to crash. And then we had to shut the website and mine through all the applications that had come through to us. There were some challenges, and those challenges led us to facilitate a session such as this, because we saw that there are many entrepreneurs that are not able to access funding because of things like compliance. They don't have their finances in order, and then hence the request to do something like this. In spite of that, we managed to reach about 6,000 entrepreneurs in a period of about 9 months. We advanced about 900 million to these entrepreneurs just to keep their doors open, to keep employees employed. But there are many others, 6 out of 40, there are many others that couldn't access. And it shows something needs to happen for us to reach out those that couldn't access the funds because they didn't have the fundamentals in place. I wanted to touch just a little bit on what the principles of Sukuma are that we agreed upon. Humanity, where there's a spirit of compassion, where we are trying to reach out to our businesses out there. Because if you think about it, businesses are not created by AI or some robots. They're created by people. They can access information, but you still need a person to drive that. So humanity is very key to a business happening. We are very impartial in who we consider for assistance, independent. The decision to fund or not assist the business is based on the facts that are brought to the table. Not because you know Arnold, not because you know Untatu David. It's because the fundamentals are in place. We look at unity, where we had a spirit of making sure that we work as one to overcome the challenges that our businesses were facing, and neutrality and objectivity. I thought those are very important principles to say, so that you understand where Sukuma comes from in terms of us now taking a step further beyond the COVID period and saying, what is it that we can do to assist entrepreneurs further with the challenges that they are facing? And that leads us then to why do we think technical assistance is necessary for our businesses? I think during that period, it became clear that unless we have some form of technical assistance that we can help our entrepreneurs with, because many of them, when it was time to click the button, remember, we opened this thing on the 3rd of April. He raises manje. You need to submit your information because by the 6th, we already have 40,000. If you don't have your financials in place, what do you think are your chances of getting that relief? So we thought, because so many people didn't have financial statements, they didn't have the compliance record in order, they didn't have the know-how of how to put up an application together, maybe we need to have some kind of a general technical assistance fund that will assist our people to be better capacitated, to be better ready to access opportunities. And it addresses a number of challenges, technical assistance, incapacity in your business to provide good quality services, inappropriate technical skills. Sometimes you start something, but you don't have the necessary skills to do it. This will be able to assist you there. Insufficient operative and financial management skills, and that's why we have the likes of Yusuf with us here today. Failing to capitalize on opportunities. He mentioned opportunities about tenders or contracts that you can go for, and just you lack competitiveness. So the objective is to provide our businesses, particularly those that do not know of such opportunities that are available for technical assistance, to know that, guys, if you have your things in place, you can apply, and let's see what it is that we can do together. And there are many challenges that our businesses are facing. Crime and corruption. Do you think crime affects businesses? Sometimes you've got your stock lapana, what happens? Baksha, it's gone. What do you do? So we're not saying we're going to replace your stock, but I'm showing the effects of crime are such that our businesses have many challenges to contend with. Corruption. And for you to get paid for this service, hey, Pelanami, I have to pay my... So you charge this, add another 5,000 pesos, then I will pay you. Unfortunately, it eats up on your margins. That's the reality that is out there. So these are things that our businesses are facing. Appropriate technology and low production capacity. I think people need to have the right technology in their businesses. Lack of management skills, finance and obtaining credit. A lot of people need assistance therein. Access to markets and developing good relationships out there. Recognitions by large companies and government. All the things that you need to have in place to be able to access those opportunities, knowledge and support, and just regulatory compliance. These are the common reasons that we had for rejecting those people that had applied to us. And it was a painful thing to do. It was not something, most of them, they were not tax compliant. Most of them could not provide evidence that they were viable before the COVID pandemic. Some of the businesses were insolvent or making losses, and yet you want to get assistance. So we say, how are you going to repay it back? And the amount applied for was often outside the specified range. If we say, as business partners, the minimum loan that we take is 500,000. That's the range that we start at. You can't say, no, Ivan, give me 900,000. And some people come for that. And if you say 100,000, unfortunately, we start at this amount. They say, all right, give me that 500,000. There's some incongruence there. So apply within the funding range of many funders. And I think what Arnold was referring to, there are many funders in the place, scan the market and find ones. So these were the things. When we did the Sukuma, we started on 250,000 to R1 million. And people would apply outside that range. And unfortunately, we could not assist them, some of them. So through the TA program, we want to reduce the cost of doing business for our small businesses, improve access to appropriate finance, and as well support them to better manage, to support you guys better manage your businesses, to enhance your business efficiencies, and to give skills transfer where possible by leveraging the skills through mentors, through professionals that we can assign to your business to assist you with something that is probably a challenge. So the way we do it, technical assistance is to provide it in the form of a loan. The guy with the juice talked about maybe certification, and maybe you don't have the funds to do so, or you could use your credit card. If you use your credit card, if you do have one, how much do you think it's going to charge you to get the certification? So these loans that we give, we will start them at about 25,000 rands. We'll go up to 250,000 rands for technical assistance. We'll provide them over 36 months. And we'll give you a 3 months free obligation not to pay. But from month 4, you have to pay it back. We don't charge any administration or raising fee. But we want a detailed motivation of why that technical assistance is required. There must be evidence of solvency. There must be evidence of solvency at least from a year back in that business, because it's very difficult to deal with a pure startup where you cannot refer back and see what is it that you're providing technical assistance for, particularly for this program. We might consider this. It's something that we are contemplating, some kind of personal surety for that TA loan amount, because it shows your commitment, as Arnold was saying. You want us, if you don't believe sufficiently in our business, why should we give you? Now, the good thing about this is that it's zero interest on whatever amount that you're given. So where do you get zero interest? I was comparing that to your credit card usage. Credit card is expensive funding because that's that monthly charge that you have to pay on the outstanding balance that you owe. So I think this is an offer that when you have a genuine issue to attend to within your business can be really leveraged. It is an opportunity that the trustees say, let's reach out to businesses that are out there that have started something and need that assistance to get to the next level, to be better able to get access to funding, and hopefully some of you would be able to do that. I think some of the qualification criteria, we're looking at close corporations, private companies, where the directors are jointly and severally liable. Is it me or outside? It's outside, ne? So I think you'll read that from the presentation slide about who we're looking at. Your form of incorporation is very important in how we can assist you. It must be some form of formally registered company. If you have 2 years of trading history for 2 years, it helps, 2 years or more. Okay, we're looking at those with a total revenue not exceeding 20 million. It's a big stretch, so we can accommodate many, many small businesses there. I mentioned the detailed motivations, setting out what it is that you require technical assistance for. If you have financial statements for that, it will help. But if your business is running for some time and it can show some kind of solvency, it's something that we can also address to assist you to put systems in place to have better finances moving forward, such as the picture that Yusuf has drawn for us here earlier. Okay? And if you don't have those financial statements, because we don't want to exclude, at least have 12 months financial, 12 months bank statements. Because you don't have financial statements, we can refer to something that when we procure the services of somebody like a Yusuf or any other professional accountant that we can put to, they've got something to work off to be able for us to take it forward. And then we'd like to have confirmation of a bank account by a relevant bank. So I think that's important for us to know that whoever that we are trading with is a person that has been FICAT, it's a formally registered business, that this assistance, they don't take it as just a grant, it's a business. A grant doesn't give you the discipline to run that business as it's supposed to be run. Okay? I mentioned there, that one of signed off financial statements, if needs be, or latest management accounts, or bank statements. I think that is a repetition, confirmation of bank account, copy of ID, and your tax compliance certificates, if you do have. If not, it's something that we can assist with. Submission of latest available statements, or any credit agreements that you have, as well as the motivation and supporting documentation, illustrating clearly the need for that technical assistance. Now, we won't give technical assistance to just in everything. We've got a few things that we wanted to clarify. This is what we can do. We can help you to create or enhance your production and or distribution of products or services. We can provide legal assistance in terms of licensing, certification, trademarks, or patents. So the certification, I'm looking specifically at that because it's something that will put your business on a better footing. I don't know what certification you're looking for, but if you're going to distribute to the broader market, they want to know that the product is safe and it's not going to result in the former listeriosis kind of things that we had previously. Creation of customized accounting or management information system, that is something we can assist with. Installation of one-time acquisition or installation of software. You can look at how to better manage your books. I think you have a number of them, Yusuf, in place. Normally, how much do they cost? How much does Sage cost?
50,000
as a subscription?
Yes.
Yeah, so the one time when you need to get that thing in place, we will assist you with that, but for you to maintain that, you need to maintain it going forward. We won't pay the subscription for you going forward, but we'll assist you to get it. And then we can give you tailored and ongoing mentoring by experienced service mentors, but it's important that you know that it's not a grant, it's something that you can use. So if you get this, let's say 6,000 for a one-time installation, let's say 6,000 rands, and you have 36 months to pay it. It's not bad, ne? How much is it? Calculate quickly. I thought I want to put you on the spot. How much is 6,000 over, let's say 30, because it's over 36 months, so you'll pay over 33 months. Hmm? 150 rands? No interest? Will you pay it back? I don't know. What we want to do with TA is to pay for your equipment, materials, or supplies of the business. It doesn't cover that. Normal funding of your business, there are many funders that will consider that. We just provide the technical assistance for you to be on a better footing to get access to that funding. We won't provide you financial assistance, as I said. We won't fund you for general education. Hey, ngifuna ukuthola degree or MBA before it. That we won't do. We won't fund you for you to get your degree or diploma or that type of thing. And before it too, our guys, Malapi municipality, province, I want to lobby them good so we get business. We won't fund you for lobbying. Any cost associated with lobbying and that type of thing is crossing the line. We want the substance of that. And then I think we've been complaining a lot about things that are done illegally. This fund is not available for us to do anything that is outside of the South African law. So everything, we're looking at exploring the type of services that we can do, but as a start, certification, getting financial management in place, getting your compliance in place is a quick start of what you can do, because it's one thing for us to tell you here that you must comply, you must get your financial statements in order, and you know, certifications, and then we go away. It was a nice talk, we are away. But technical assistance is saying, this is something that you can put your business on a better footing to have those things in place. The reasons why I talked about the crisis that happened in 2020, which none of us had anticipated. Who of us had anticipated what happened with the floods now, was it last month in KZN? We can't go to the extent of just saying, that was KZN, we are fine here. What happens if it comes here? Will you be ready to apply for any form of assistance if you do not have your financials in order, if you do not have your compliance? So let's give that businesses some tender care love, that TLC that it requires, and leverage what tools are available from 25,000 to about 250,000. I think very few people are going to require that much, and we will work around to see how can we do it in such a manner as to incorporate as many people as possible in this technical assistance fund. So for now, we are busy preparing an online application platform for people to be able to submit their motivation, to give us the basic information of their businesses for us to take it forward. That is still underway, but we said, let's fly this plane. We'll fix as we are flying in the air. So we're getting off. You are the first one to get to know about this general technical assistance that Sukuma is availing to yourselves. So for now, if any one of you is interested in applying for this technical assistance, you can apply to enquiries@businesspartners.co.za. And then I think we'll then be able to process it from that. And I hope when you go through this information, you'll be able to see that there is a tool available to you to get your business on the right footing, to get yourself compliant, to get yourself your financial statements in order, and we'll look at the numbers. And you know, some of the things, for instance, a stock management system. If you are in a situation where you don't know what your stock is and you want to know that there's no shrinkage happening in your business, that is something that we can consider. Things like how you link your stock to your cash registers, these are things that you are beginning to consider, and we're thinking as broad as is possible. Through your inquiries, we will enrich what it is that we can cover with our technical assistance, so long it doesn't fall within the non-allowable technical assistance things. Thank you.